Good morning, students. Last class we have discussed about the transgenic animals and molecular diagnosis. In your textbook, page number 212 and 213, it is given there. Just go through it. Whatever I am teaching from this slide, everything is given in your book. So go through gene therapy also, genetical engineering insulin 210 and 211 page. So go through that. And now we are going to discuss about the ethical issue. So first point is manipulation of living. 1 minute. Manipulation of living organism by the human race requires certain regulations. Ethical standards are required to evaluate the morality of all human activities that might help or harm living organism. Ethical issue means actually it is related to how the living organism should be used, and that and all the human activities must be evaluated morally. Means you can say that they cannot they cannot be controlled beyond their right, we can say. So, second one is that genetic modification of organism have unpredictable results when such organism are introduced into the ecosystem. So, whenever we are going for creating the transgenic animals, or we are going from genetical modification of the organism, they have unpredictable results when they are introduced into the ecosystem. When you are actually introducing into the ecosystem, they are giving us some abnormal result, we can unpredictable results, you can say. Indian government has set up organizations such as GEAC. What is the full form? Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. Those who are actually approving this type of genetical engineering work, which will make decision regarding the validity of GM, genetically modified organism research, and safety of introducing GM organism for public services. Means we have to think about all the things. Means if we are creating the GM or genetically modified organism, that should be valid. And second one, if it is introduced into the ecosystem, that also will not be creating any type of harm. So that safety we have to decide, and that safety is decided by GEAC. That means genetically engineering approval committee. They are actually approving it is actually okay for our society or not. The modification usage of living organism for public services as food and medicine sources, for example, has also created problems with the patents. Means suppose somebody is discovering some medicine or some food, genetically engineered, you can say, or simply some food or medicine, and others are getting the name, or others are using that name. So that is actually not okay, or that is not fair. So that is created the problem with the patents. Means who will be getting the patents on the basis of that. This can create a problem. So the modification of living organism or public services, means which we are using the for food purpose or medicine purpose, has also created which one, the problem with patent. So these are the ethical issues. Ethical issues means when we are introducing some GM, that also creating in the ecosystem, that also creating some problem, either harm, we can say, they can create any problem. So we have to think about that. And some manipulation of living organism by human race, they need some regulation. Means otherwise simply we cannot disuse, or we can say misuse our rights there. And ethical standard require the evaluate the morality of all human activities. And these things are the ethical issues there, everything. And there should not be any type of patent issue there about the whatever we are using for the human purpose. Acha, next one we are coming, use of genetic material, plants, and biological resources by companies granted with patent has triggered public anger since they have been identified, developed, used by farmer and people of specific country. Suppose that only I want to say here that some country, specific country, the farmers and peoples of some specific country have been identified or developed or used some uh, product, and that product is used by some companies granted with the patent there. So that is actually creating some public anger because somebody is actually developing that one, and another one is getting the patent. So that should not be fair. So this type of issues are called ethical issue. And next one we are coming for some examples here. So what are the example? Over 20 lakh 2 lakhs 2 lakhs varieties of rice found in India, which makes India richest. Basmati rice, one type of rice with unique aroma and flavor, and there are 27 documented varieties of basmati grown in India. Okay, so that is grown in India, and that is 27 documented varieties are there. In 1997, an American company got patents rights on basmati rice through US Patent and Trademark Office, and this will allow the company to sell a new variety of basmati in the US and abroad. This new variety of basmati had actually been derived by the crossing with semi-dwarf varieties and claimed as an invention or a novelty. The patent extends to functional equivalence, implying that other people selling basmati rice could be restricted by the patent. So now we can see that one. It was actually grown and developed by which one? Now that varieties of basmati grown in India. Okay, but American company got the patent and that rights on basmati rice through US Patent and Trademark Office. So that is one ethical issue, and this will, so definitely those who got the patent, they are only allowed to sell it and in the US and abroad. And this new variety has actually been derived by crossing the semi dwarf varieties of claimed as an invention of the novelty. So this patent extend to functional equivalence, implying that other people selling basmati rice could be restricted. So other people only except this company, this American company, other people are restricted to sell that basmati rice. So that is a problem again. Next one we are coming. So this is we can say the, yeah, these are the definition we can say. Look at here, these are actually the product, है ना, texmati and kasmati. These are the different type of varieties are coming here. So this type of issues are actually creating the problem. Now we are coming, several attempts have also made to patent uses, products and process based on Indian traditional herbal medicine, example turmeric neem. We should be vigilant and counter this patent application, else other countries, individuals may encash on our rich legacy. We may not be able to do anything about it. So here this is a problem. Several, so we are actually Indian traditional herbal medicines are discovered and products are actually developed here, and here that's why we have to vigilant and counter this patent application. We have to cautious about this patent application. Otherwise other countries, just like the basmati rice, here also other countries, individuals may encash on our rich legacy and we may not be able to do anything about it. So this is the actually problem can arise, and so we have to think about that. Now this is called biopiracy, the patenting of plant genes and other biological products that are indigenous to another country. So next one, biopiracy, use of bioresources by multinational companies and other organizations without proper authorization from the countries and people concerned without compensatory payment. That is called actually biopiracy. So bioresources, by use of bioresources by multinational companies and other organization without proper authorization, means they are not getting any authorization, and then also they are uses these bioresources from the without getting proper authorization from the countries and people concerned without compensatory payment. Means they, the main those who are actually inventor, those who are actually developer, they are not getting any proper compensatory payment, or they are not getting without they are not getting the means they are not giving any proper authorization to other countries, and then also the other countries or multinational companies are using the bioresources, that is called biopiracy. Developed countries patent the knowledge and resources of underdeveloped countries and enjoying the immense profits. So those who are developed countries that patent the knowledge and resources of the underdeveloped countries. Those who are underdeveloped countries, their resources are used by developed countries and they are enjoying the immense profit. Industrialized nations are rich financially but poor in biodiversity. Those who are industrialized nation, they are financially rich but they are not having any biodiversity and traditional knowledge. In contrast, the developing and underdeveloped world is rich in biodiversity and traditional knowledge related to the bioresources. I mean, those who are underdeveloping or those who are developing, they are having some traditional knowledge, they are having the biodiversity, whereas the industrialized nation, they are not having any type of biodiversity or traditional knowledge there. Traditional knowledge related to bioresources can be exploited to develop modern application and can also be used to save time, effort and expenditure during their commercialization. So these traditional knowledge are very much important to application for their commercialization, and to save time, to save effort, all these things are required. But the industrialized nations, they do not have, but developing or underdeveloping country, they are actually rich in this biodiversity and traditional knowledge there. So there's a realization of the injustice, inadequate compensation and benefit sharing between developed and developing countries led some nations to develop laws to prevent such unauthorized exploitation of bioresources and traditional knowledge. So this is the condition. So to stop the biopiracy, this is called biopiracy, means when other countries are using this traditional knowledge or using these bioresources without any authorization and without any type of compensation or benefit, so for that is called the biopiracy. So that by realization this type of injustice, the inadequate compensation, benefit sharing between the developing and developed countries, to let some nations to develop some laws to prevent this type of we can say the unauthorized exploitation. The Indian Parliament has cleared the second amendment of the Indian patent bills that takes such issues into consideration, including patent terms, emergency provision, and research and development initiative. So laws are created as well as the second amendment of the Indian patent bills also was done. So that issues are considered here, and emergency provision for the patent terms are there, research and development initiative are taken there. So next one we are coming for. So these are the actually it is given in your book, ethical issue is given in your book, page number 213, and biopiracy is also given there in 214. So your chapter is over here about the biotechnology and its application.